Welcome back to Anarchy in the Ukulele.
Hello.
We're here for our Ukulele Hooley special.
Yeah.
We're here with Ralphie, who's been as quiet as a mouse.
Yeah, not feeling him early at all.
Ralphie was at the Ukulele Hooley with us, so it's only right that he's here.
Yeah, you might want to put his 2 cents in.
Yeah, member of the team. I'm sure he will put his 2 cents in. We were supposed to put this out last week, but I had COVID.
Yeah, you got a couple of things at the festival, didn't you?
Yeah, got something from the festival. Which just reminded me, we're supposed to be wearing our Ukulele Hooley t-shirts.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I'm representing.
Anyway, this is part one. Maybe we'll put them on at the end, or we'll put them on for part two next week. We've had to split it in 2 parts because we did so much filming.
Yeah.
And it was all really, really good. So we thought we'd do part 1 this week, part 2 next Friday. Where should we start? Where do we start?
Beginning.
At the beginning, right? Okay,
It's a very good place to start.
We've got some videos to play. Now we can talk over some of these videos.
Okay. The wonders
it'll be very
of
confusing
modern
because it'll
technology.
be videos of us.
Videos of us talking over each other. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so part 1 is our journey. Welcome to Anarchy in the Ukulele.
You're like, welcome
to Anarchy in the Ukulele with Pukey Goldberg in the back. Baby Anarchy's in the back also. Puking. Sam, you in a puke?
Not at the moment. Might wee myself.
But we are going on the ferry in a bit.
Yeah.
So much puking coming up.
Yeah.
We're going on a little road trip. Yeah. We're going to Dublin. We're going to the Ukulele Hooley.
Hooley.
Oh, no, that's Scottish. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah.
We're off to Dublin.
Oh, that's offensive. Anyway, right, we'll catch you back later when we've actually done something mildly interesting.
Woohoo! Road trip!
Ralphie on his first road trip. First Anarchy, baby Anarchy on his first Anarchy road trip.
How are you feeling, Kevin?
I'm feeling great, not at all stressed.
Good.
Not at all that we've got a check-in at the ferry at 3:45.
At the latest.
At the latest. Our sat-nav says that we're going to get there at 3:38.
Can I just clarify? It doesn't say last check-in, it says check-in closes.
So, okay, I'm just going to pause it there because you both told me. We like loads. I left all the details to you two.
I said we needed to be there an hour before, and I can't look at my phone in the car because I get sick. So, like a responsible adult, I screenshot it and I sent it to the group. And then you were driving, so obviously Sam was then in charge.
We did set off in lots of time.
Like a ridiculous amount of time.
There was 2 accidents.
You were an hour late to pick me up.
I were an hour late. I wasn't.
You were?
Yeah. But we still had loads of
Ralph
time.
and
It
I
wasn't
were ready.
our fault. Anyway, right, okay, let's carry on. Let's move. We are, the sat-nav now says 15:40. We need to get there 15:45. So, we're rushing there. We haven't got time to stop and charge, so we're winging that. Abby thinks she's going to ask them at the ferry point if we can have a charger.
There's 3 on the ferry, so fingers crossed.
Anyway.
We've had to stop for Bongo Boy to wee.
Anyway, we are now, at least we're in a different country. We're now in Wales.
1, 2, 3.
Shemai! We're currently arriving at the ferry port. What does they need to? I mean, before it closes. Now then, I did forget to put music behind all these squares, but I brought my ukulele with me. So I thought, okay, so if you can both be quiet,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the music for the sped up bits. Okay, I'm not going to rewind it because I don't know quite how to do it. Well, I do know how to do it, but
shouldn't it be fast music like the Flight of the Bumblebee?
Shh. We are 1.3 miles away from the ferry.
We're 3 minutes early.
3 minutes.
Well, yeah, we've got under 5 minutes to get there until check-in closes. Abby, we just had to stop for a wee. Abby weed on Sam's chair. middle of the dual carriageway. Dublin. Here we go. Here we go. There's people going. There's one more coming.
Probably going to need our passports.
Yeah, probably. Sam's got mine.
Yep.
Oh, I'm flustered. Is that still recording?
Yes. Is that an update?
We're here. I'm uploading the Friday show.
You're uploading the Friday.
I'm uploading the Friday show on Friday at the ferry port.
Yeah.
We're always ahead of the game, we are.
Yeah.
Lowered. Kevin was too scared. I've got to do it.
That's not true. Kevin hasn't got his driving licence. You don't get to get off the ferry.
How many cars do you reckon fit on here?
Let's go.
Well, I started and I got bored.
I'd say 200.
Do you think? Yeah.
Oh no, they're going down.
Oh yeah, look.
Oh, that's going to happen to us in a minute. Giving us the international symbol for down.
You know it well.
This is less dramatic than I felt like it was
it's
going to
not
be.
as exciting as Sam and Abby thought. I mean, it'd be more exciting if Abby takes the handbrake off.
Is there just no one here?
Do I just go?
What's this guy saying, son?
Yeah, nationality, please.
Oh, British.
Yeah, okay. Here, cheers, yeah.
Oh, good. Did he say go ahead?
What's wrong? Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you. Drive on the left.
Didn't leave it. Oh my goodness, what side did we drive on? I don't like my steering wheel position.
You're not going on the tolls, that's fine.
I am driving with care.
I credited you with bigger balls than huge, massive balls is what I credited you with.
I'm just
You're behaving.
don't like driving you in your
You're
car.
behaving like Sam.
It's like beach
I
houses.
just really know how to beach, right? But then we're not really in Dublin anymore, so. Although we are going to Dublin. That's the end of day one.
Wow.
Can I just say, so a couple of my favourite bits of day one. One was the customs officer.
He was quite short, wasn't he?
Very chill.
He was
as
quite
well.
short with you. Yeah, he was kind of like, go on then.
I didn't mean if he meant like, it was a bit confusing as to whether he meant, oh, okay, cool, and let's see your documents, or just like, go on through. You could be a legal immigrant.
It's
Welcome.
Ireland. Go on means go on. It doesn't mean anything else. That's all it means. I like the fact that it was just like, what nationality, British. Go on then, in you come.
Yeah.
It didn't show him any passports. Any
I paid
documents.
extra to get Ralph's passport
I know you did.
urgently. Didn't even need it.
Anyway, so yeah, day one didn't have much ukulele content in.
No.
And that, I don't know, we didn't film anything ourselves. Like, we didn't film us arriving at our accommodation, which
No.
we go on to explain in the beginning of day two, I believe.
Yeah.
So day two, we're off to the Ukulele
Hooley.
Hooley. So lots more content coming up.
I think you can just call it the Hooley. I don't think you have to say ukulele.
I like to say the Ukulele Hooley.
What, it's
Dublin
my-
ukulele.
Sorry, Sam, I felt like
Incidentally-
my nipple was out then.
Incidentally, this week's quiz
Yeah.
is going to be to give us the most accurate description of what a Hooley is.
Ooh.
In the context of the Ukulele Hooley.
Okay. Do you
And-
know?
Well, I'm going by what I Googled because I found something really, really funny. So no cheating. If you're on the chat, don't get on Google as well. Just come up with what your description of the Hooley is. I'm not sure it'll match what mine was, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, right. So day two. Let's go for day two. Here we go.
So it turns out I've accidentally booked us into an alpaca farm.
It's like anyway. So
We all
right.
had a lovely, refreshing night's sleep.
We did have a nice night's sleep. We're off to the Ukulele Hooley.
Woohoo!
We should have been there at 10:30. It's now 10:45.
We're going to stop for a quick breakfast.
fair, I did have a bit of a disaster with the baby milk this morning. It's been a long time since I've had to put a bottle together. I forgot to put the bottom on it and poured the milk straight into the top.
And it went everywhere.
I forgot to put the bottom on the bottle.
I was upstairs doing my hair and I could hear a lot of shouting. The
I know,
baby was
it's all good. It's all good. We sorted it, me and Sam, we sorted it.
So that's why I've lost an entire bottle.
There, let's not talk about it. Get Abby's happy face.
Naughty brunch. Phenomenal.
Are you for the ukulele?
We are,
It's
yes.
just straight up the stairs.
Amazing.
Thanks a million.
Alright, you're awake. I know it's still more, it's officially midday now, so as musicians you're allowed to be up and awake to the movie. Anyway, we're going to have a look at jug band music, what it is, and then I'm going to teach you all the secrets so you can play any jug band song you want and write your own jug band song if you want to. None of it is too difficult. The reason it's called jug band music is because quite often this music was played with whatever you had to have. So you got washboards for percussion. You had people maybe playing the spoons, though traditionally the bones would have been quite a common thing. And of course, we're in Ireland. The bones are still frequently heard at sessions over here. And when we get to the end of the shaded line, you have three choices. You can play F minor, G sharp 7 or F sharp diminished 7. Shall we have a vote? F minor? Hands up for F minor. Hands up for G sharp 7. No, didn't think so. Hands up for F sharp diminished 7. F minor it is. G7 for a whole bar. G7. Now, do you hear that when we get to that G7? It kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, C, A7, B7 to G7 to C. As a stop verse, and it's called a stop verse because you do this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Phil's workshop was good, wasn't it?
It was
I
good.
actually quite enjoyed it. You did actually play more than we showed in that little video. You did kind of pick up a couple of new chords.
Oh yeah, you know
And
me.
play along quite a
did
bit.
of music theory.
Yeah. Anyway, what happened now was we sent Sam off while we stayed in Phil's workshop. We sent, Bongo Boy, his stage name. We sent Bongo Boy off to Del Rey.
Yes. Sounds like a place when you say it like that.
It does, yeah. It's because I can't get Lana Del Rey out of my mind whenever.
Kevin actually thought it was Lana Del Rey.
For a second, no, I had to Google, yeah. And during sending you off, it decided to absolutely pour it down.
Oh my
didn't
goodness,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Heaven's open.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of Sam going off to Del Rey, and then we're going to play you the interview that we did with Phil. And then we've got a bit of the afternoon gig, the early evening gig that we went to, and we might have played.
Might have.
Might have. Yeah.
Ralph may or may not have been the youngest person to ever perform on stage.
May not have been. You have
at
to
the
watch
Hooley.
to find out.
Who knows?
Yeah. So let's watch a bit of that. I quite like us watching along. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not for people
Well,
watching.
It'd be
it.
cooler if we
I
commented.
haven't seen
wouldn't
any
it?
of this. I filmed it all, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen any.
We were there.
Right. We can comment on this. So this is Sam walking to Del Rey.
Thumb and pinch and pinch and thumb and pinch and pinch and pinch and pinch. So that it always is in the same place. So when you're having to think, you don't have to think. You can think about the important things, which is how the melody goes, rather than what finger to use. If you just get in that habit. That's why doing scales is actually really good for you, because it gets that your fingers adjusted to always being in that same place.
Well, I should now be helping Kevin and Abby interview Phil Dolman, because I've just seen Del Rey do her workshop, but it is chucking it down and it is very wet, so I don't think I'll be doing that. We'll see.
Music time.
Did we ask Sam to do like a vlog?
Every time. Unbelievable. I quite like this because you get to see a bit of.
Shall I do the music?
You get to see how it turns to
Dunleary.
summer as I'm
Dunleary.
walking
See a bit
around.
of Dunleary.
You get to see a bit of Dunleary.
Leary.
Leary. Up at the Lighthouse Cafe we were.
Cafe.
Cafe.
Calf.
It's definitely a cafe. It's not a cafe.
I think it's a cafe. I think they would say cafe in an Irish accent.
They might do. Don't be offensive
My
again.
Irish accent is quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting better, yeah.
Don't get. Do you know Paul's already complaining there's not enough ukulele content in the Friday show? Which, right,
You're holding a ukulele.
I'm putting this on air because I know that Paul will watch tonight as well. So I had a conversation with Paul last night and he said to me, do you know, I don't think there's enough ukulele content in the Friday show. To which I went, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And he's going to do some for us, which would be lovely, so we can't wait for that.
Oh, he's available, is he?
But then put the phone down to him and I went, hold on, the Friday show's wall-to-wall ukulele content. Literally, like, we do like 30-ish minute shows.
Had he just
we
watched the one
attempt
that
to.
Sam and I did?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
not much
maybe that's the only one he watched. But I'm like, I'd say 29 and a half minutes of it is pretty much wall-to-wall ukulele content.
Yeah.
Paolo.
He talks out of his ukulele, that one.
Anyway, so it really did rain, didn't it? Because we were sat inside.
Oh my goodness.
And,
Absolutely, literally.
and the windows
I know,
that Sam had opened because...
Oh my goodness, can
Because
we
I
just
work-
talk about
work
that? That was my favourite part. This man came up to Sam when he was filming and was like, excuse me, is it possible to open that window, please? It's a bit hot in here. And Sam, instead of just saying, sorry, I don't work here, was like, oh, I'll go and see for you. And then
Climbed
the
up a
window's
load
like
of
9
chairs.
foot tall and looks like it might fall out.
I mean, I think for Phil that was probably quite distracting. And then
I
it started
apologise.
pouring down, and we were like, water's now going to come in the window.
And then we saw him later on, and I was like, Sam, the man is yours.
Anyway, so how was Del Rey?
Yeah, she was good. There was a lot of people there, and she... Yeah, that's what she did.
Yeah, I've learnt it, and I didn't even go to the workshop. That's how good she
Blues.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blues workshop, wasn't it? Yeah. It looked very good, very good.
Yeah.
I sounded a little bit Irish.
Very good.
Can we just say, I have Irish heritage. I have a lot of family in
do
Ireland.
I.
I felt like I was with my people when I went to Ireland. I felt at home straight
Kevin's
away.
literally ready to move there.
I am ready to move there. I think we say that in a later
Like
video.
ukulele people, the nicest people. Irish ukulele people, goodness me, it's
Yeah.
like a double dip chocolate,
It is. It really is.
double cooked chips.
Right, shall we? So we did an interview with Phil all about kind of the Hooley and him being at the Hooley and other festivals and the festival circuit. So we thought we'd include it in here. Here is our interview with Phil Dolman. Anything to say, Ralphie?
He just looked at Sam and was like,
Anyway, here we go. Well, welcome back. We are still at the Ukulele Hooley.
yeah, live from the Ukulele Hooley.
Well, we're not live. This is recorded.
Well, we're live.
Live now.
We're live. Yeah. We're not dead. And we're here with Phil Dolman.
The brilliant Phil Dolman.
Brilliant Phil Dolman.
Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Yeah, we've just been in the workshop, haven't we? And even you played a little bit.
I did
So,
play a little
Abby's
bit.
a very, very beginner. But you did have a little play.
Yeah, I've got to say, the way you explained the circle of fifths, brilliant. Like music theory, normally I'm like, oh no, like wincing,
That's
but
me.
it was
I used to
brilliant.
hate it. I used to hate the idea of music theory until I sort of got dragged into it and suddenly, well, actually, it's not that hard.
Yeah, you made it sound so simple.
And I had a couple of friends who were absolute idiots, and I thought, well, if they know music theory, if that plonker can do music theory, I'm sure I can. So, mentioning no names.
No, we want the name.
We like
Give me the
names,
list.
yeah. We like to drop people in there. But yeah, no, it was fabulous, wasn't it? And good little audience here. Seemed to get through everything. And I wanted to talk to you about kind of ukulele festivals in general because we're still kind of experiencing them, being quite new to the game. Have we played one yet? We're playing a couple next year, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've got a couple of really nice slots.
What have you got? Can you say?
Let's say.
Oh, I don't know.
Tell me later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them we're not allowed to yet.
Yeah, that's always a problem. You have to
Yeah,
know which
we-
ones are
Yeah.
announced yet.
We've got a nice little headline slot, but we're not allowed to say it yet, have we? But,
Which we normally mock Paul for, saying
We
that
do
he's
normally
playing
mock
and he
Paul.
can't tell us, but
Yeah.
now we're in the same
yeah.
boat.
I think you've met Paul, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, no
Or
problem.
Paolo, or P-Man, as we
Yeah.
anything derogatory, really.
Yeah.
Normally we like to call them. Yeah, so ukulele festivals in general, I went to Huddersfield, where I met you in
Yeah.
Huddersfield, which was a pretty big thing, it seemed.
Yeah,
in
it
Huddersfield.
is quite a big one. Yeah.
And then I saw a video of you at Shrookfest, which I can't
Oh,
really say.
Shrookfest, yes.
Shrookfest.
Shrookfest, yeah.
Yeah.
There is also a Shroofest
Shroofest.
at the same time.
Oh,
So if you're
okay.
driving
That's
to
confusing.
Shroofest, you're seeing the signs for Shroofest, and
I can guarantee
Turning into the
we would
wrong
end up
farm.
on the wrong one with
Yeah,
the
we are 100% with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be us. And they seem so different.
yes.
How do you kind of find it? Because you are very much on the ukulele circuit.
Oh, I'm really surprised they're not sick to death of me right now, because I've been doing this so long. So yeah, Grand Northern, I did every single one of those, even before it was in Huddersfield.
Oh, wow.
The first one was
Yeah.
in Pontefract. It was much smaller, and it was just great to see it grow and grow and grow. The Ukulele Festival of Great Britain in Cheltenham, I did all of those as well. And yeah, they all have
Coming back
different.
next year, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's coming back
Yeah.
again, which is brilliant. I mean, they're all Shrookfest that you mentioned is an outdoor,
Yeah.
on a farm, kind of like a proper music festival, where
Yeah.
people camp.
Yeah.
So it has a whole different feel to it. To say, thinking of things like the Big House in the Country, those sort of ones that World of
Yeah.
Ukes organised, which are in a hotel.
Yeah.
And you stay in that hotel, and it's warm and it's dry, and you have
Yeah.
a bed. I quite like those.
Yeah, they sound nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they all have a very, very different feel to them, which is really lovely. And this one, fantastic, because it's the big gig tomorrow is not only outdoors, but is public.
Yeah,
Anyone can come.
I'm quite excited by that because it just seems they're so different. Some are very, very small, some are large, like Huddersfield. This one we didn't quite know what to expect here, did we? Because we'd met the guys from the Dublin Ukulele Collective who had kind of invited us to come over and do some bits with them. And
I like that this one's in different places. I quite like that.
Yes.
I like that it's,
Yeah.
you've got we're in the lighthouse, and then you've got the I don't know what it's called.
Elbana.
Thank you.
Not Ebola. I've said 3 times this weekend already.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it reminds me, I used to go to a festival, Brecon Jazz Festival, years and years ago, and that was, the whole town was taken over. But that almost, I mean, the whole Huddersfield wasn't taken, but it almost felt like that with kind of different bits.
I sometimes do the Fishguard one,
Yeah,
Abbey Jazz.
right.
Every venue in town has a
Yeah.
band playing. Hairdressers have bands in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
And they're sort of fantastic ones. It feels like the UK needs a bit of a ukulele version of that still
Yeah,
at times.
yeah.
And but
What's your favourite thing to do? Is it the workshops? Is it the performing? Is it a little bit of everything?
I actually don't treat the workshops, the performances any differently. It's a gig.
Yeah.
I'm just doing different things. But I'm doing exactly the same thing I do when I deliver a workshop as when I go and do a gig. So I just see them all as performances. But I love doing the performances, but I think actually my favourite thing is just the stuff that happens, the spontaneous stuff. Doing this, meeting people I haven't seen in years, sitting in and jamming with people, meeting up with some of the other acts. We meet up, and then we know that later on we'll end up playing tunes together.
yeah,
Yeah.
And because we all live in different places, it's a long time since I've seen Uff and Bill, and it's Peter that's with them now. It's a long time since I've seen them, let alone
Nice
sat and
catch up.
played with them. So we catch up and
Yeah.
we'll play some tunes, and just it seems like no time's passed at all.
yeah.
So that's probably my favourite bit.
It sounds like great.
It's nice. Love.
Yeah. And, I mean, you do this full time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's as much as it's nice getting to come to places like this. It's hard work, isn't it?
It is hard work. I mean, it's not a real job. I can't say it's hard work. My wife's a head teacher. That's hard work. But it's quite intense because there's a festival season. So I started off sometime in May.
Yeah.
And I've had a festival every fortnight
Right, yeah.
And I've got another one in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I've got the weekend after that, I've got 2 in one weekend, 2 one-day festivals.
Wow.
Then there's one more after that, and then suddenly
You got a break.
nothing.
Yeah.
But in between those festivals, there's also the other gigs.
Yeah.
So it's not just like a weekend every fortnight. There'll be a
Yeah.
festival, 2 or 3 little gigs, another festival.
Yeah.
Festivals nearly always involve long distance travelling and staying away from home, and
Yeah.
things like that. Which is difficult, especially when, well, I say my wife's a head teacher, so she's at home right now.
Yeah.
My kids, one's just finished their GCSEs, the other one's home from university, so they're home, and I'm not.
And you're
off doing other things.
They didn't want to come. They're not.
No, they didn't want to go. You're quite right, they didn't want to go. No, they don't tend to follow me around. They just go, yeah, we'll do something that we'll do our thing when Dad's not here.
Yeah.
We'll do something they like.
Yeah. I mean, with that, so, you know, and like you say, there's periods of the year where you're not as busy and things like that, but you've also got your YouTube channel, your Patreon. How much of that kind of makes up, because to be able to do this as a full-time thing, like I said, it's hard in the sense of, you know, you have to make it work.
Yeah.
And
it's having as many different income streams as you can, even if they're tiny ones.
Yeah.
So Patreon's been amazing for me. I started Patreon a year before lockdown, which meant that when everybody else tried to do it at the start of lockdown, I'd already got 30, 40 patrons, and I've now got like 260 patrons.
I heard a guy at the bar actually talking to the lady that was serving us, and she said, he said to her, do you follow his Patreon? Have you been on Patreon? He said, I do lessons on Patreon.
Yeah, keep saying that.
He was all over it for you.
Excellent. Yeah, that's introduced me to the novel concept of having a regular income. Because every month on the 1st of the month, Patreon goes out, and that's the bit now that I didn't have before when you were living from gig to gig.
You know what, as a musician, you don't get that, do you? I mean, maybe royalties is the nearest you kind of get to that, but they tend to be not on a monthly.
Yeah, and I would do that. I mean, years ago, I used to have a duo called the Re-Entrants.
Yeah.
We were a rock duo. The idea was that it was 2 people who used to be in rock bands years ago.
Yeah.
When they had hair and waistlines, and now we could do it ironically with ukulele.
So I've seen some of those videos, Phil. I can't remember the hair. But.
Oh no! The hair and the waistline were from before we even did the re-entry. But that was great. We were really busy, but there was always that thing of when's the next gig? Because if there isn't a gig for 3 weeks, there's no money for 3 weeks. And if it got to winter and there just weren't the opportunities. Whereas now, when that calms down, I'll just spend more time making YouTube videos. I'll spend more time putting stuff on Patreon. And I release stuff on Bandcamp as well, and I sell books, and all of those things just trickle. But it's still not, you know, I'm never going to get rich playing the ukulele. I don't think anyone ever did. So.
No.
Plus, if you're anything like Kevin, you keep spending the money on ukulele.
You spend it on ukulele.
I do keep spending it on ukuleles at the minute, which is a problem. Do you have a big ukulele collection? Or are you a person that can narrow it down and go, these are mine?
Yeah, I've got about, I think I've got 40. But if you count that I play a bit of baritone, quite often I have a lot of baritone in the set. So I don't like to have one instrument, because then if something happens to it, I haven't got an instrument. So I've got a couple of baritones. I've got this resonator, and I've got my national resonator, and I've got a third resonator that a friend made for me. I've got my signature model Miller soprano, and then a lot of them are ones that people have either given me or have sentimental value. Someone I know's made it for me. A friend of mine, Professor Chris, if you're watching, he made a ukulele out of the bar of his local pub for me. They came in to refurbish it, and as they were taking out this beautiful oak bar, and he said, what are you going to do with that? He said, well, we're going to saw it up and throw it away. And he got a bit of chalk out and said, can you saw it there, there, and there, and put it in the boot of my car? And they went, yeah, absolutely. And he built me a little uke out of that. So a lot of them are sentimental. Plus I have guitars and banjos and all the other stuff that around the house that I play. So there's a lot of it.
I mean, one thing we haven't talked about, but we did say we'd make it nice and short today, but is the music. And, you know, clearly your love for kind of jug band music, blues. I mean, what got you into that originally?
Oh, it was a long time ago. My mum played folk guitar. So when I was a kid, she still does, and I'd hear my mum singing things like Midnight Special And so they were just songs that then I learnt from her. I didn't really know what they were or where they came from. And then I went to university and I met up with a guy there who was massively into the blues, and we used to go around the second-hand record shops and find stuff. And I remember buying albums by people like Big Joe Turner and stuff like that, Blind Boy Fuller, when I was around about 19. And yeah, it's just stuck with me. But I just kind of just like digging around, finding new stuff or things I'd never heard before.
You can see, even while you're doing your workshops, you can see the passion.
Yeah, I'm so lucky.
That you can mention. And
I just get to do music that I absolutely love. Yeah. So I'm really lucky to be able to do that.
Oh, fabulous.
And it works so great on the ukulele.
Yeah.
There is a massive link to that in that I've done blues and jazz festivals, and they used to look at you and go, we're not having a ukulele player.
Yeah.
Whereas it's gradually getting to the point now where you don't have to go take a guitar case in, play one song on the guitar, then get the ukulele.
They have to be apologetic.
Lots of people are really interested now, and as they're getting more into the wider blues, so not just that either electric blues or the acoustic delta blues, but they're starting to find more of the jug band and hokum and string band stuff that existed at the time. People are getting more and more interested in hearing that stuff played on things like ukuleles and banjos that were probably the instruments that were being used at the time.
We live in a strange country when it comes to the ukulele, I think, because certainly if you go to America and obviously Hawaii and places, but even other countries in Europe, they don't view it the same way we do.
That's the blessing and the curse, I think, of George Formby. Having somebody that was that famous to play the uke. I mean, I've seen adverts from, I think it was from the back of The Stage, but certainly a publication back then where people would be advertising for people to be in shows and advertising their shows, literally advertising for entertainers for a show must not play the ukulele because so many people wanted to do the George Formby thing that they had queues of people with their little banjolele going, I'm a musical actor, we've had enough of those. It was that big. But the curse of it is that I still do gigs and have people say can you play when I'm cleaning windows or whatever. The irony being that I nearly always get those when I'm playing 5-string banjo.
Well,
because they just go, well, it's a drum and a stick. It must be when I'm cleaning windows.
I had a rule when I started playing ukulele that I would never play when I'm cleaning windows.
Have you?
No. But not that I dislike it.
No, I haven't either. I've never played either.
I just thought no, that can be a thing. Just never play it.
You know the jug band workshop we just did?
Well, I know
some
the
of that stuff is in the George Formby songs.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the thing with George Formby is that as a ukulele player now, and what we do now, we don't look at it in a derogatory kind of way, but it's kind of, you do want to distance yourself a little bit because everybody goes, oh, George Formby, you play ukulele, so you want to distance yourself. But the music that you love, it's not dissimilar.
No,
there's those chord sequences, and it's all in there, isn't it?
It's all that early jazz. Jazz had a massive influence on music all over the world. So it's hardly surprising that you do get the same. You can see. I can see. Cleaning windows. That's the jug band stuff we just did.
If you slow that down and you put it into a 6/8 or something, and it's blues. It's a slow blues.
Same vocab.
But a completely different era, and you have a nice solo over the top of it. It's a completely different thing. But
if you watch Ukulele Off's trio this weekend, they're playing music from that era, but not the George Formby stuff. But still, it will be the same chord progressions, the same ideas, and then you just put your own twist on it.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for giving us this time.
Lovely to see you.
We're definitely going to get you into our studio at some point.
Yes.
I think we were kind of talking at Huddersfield doing a little band thing.
Oh yeah,
maybe because I don't get to play much blues ukulele, but I want to play piano with Phil playing ukulele.
Oh yeah, we've got to make that happen.
And we'll get bass player in, and Bongo Boy can play drums or something, and we'll do some stuff. It will be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
We'll sort that out this time. We'll kind of say,
excellent,
get some dates together, and
we'll get it done.
Can do so.
Yeah, I'd love to.
But awesome. So we'll see you around, I'm sure. And
great.
Thanks for doing this.
And thanks to the Ukulele Hooley again as well for having us.
Phil, the loveliest man
goodness. So lovely
ever. he does get booked for every ukulele festival going, and he's kind of like, why aren't people fed up with me yet? But they're not fed up with him because he's so nice.
Yeah, he is really, really,
and incredibly
really
talented as well. He's
lovely. Love Phil.
His workshops. I've been to 2 of his workshops now at different festivals, and they were at the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival. That's what it was called. His was the best workshop, I thought. You really do kind of learn something. I learned stuff about the Circle of Fists.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
I've got a musical theory degree.
That wasn't lip service. I genuinely thought it was pretty helpful.
And yeah, I picked up some stuff that I'd either forgotten or never knew in the first place. I was like, I never thought of it in that way.
Someone taught you, the mighty Kevin Duncan.
Well, I don't like to admit it normally.
Maestro himself.
Yeah. I think I'm just a floating head and arms in this picture, aren't I? Because look, I'm sat in the dark corner. Anyway, so thank you, Phil, for the interview. And we've got some more of Phil coming up in the afternoon gig and on next week's show as well, which was the big concert in the park.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, the afternoon gig that I think we're now about to show. Oh, we've got a bit of Sam's bad filming to show first.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Always like it.
But now let's show that. Let's show you Sam's bad filming. I put this in because it really was terrible. So Sam is trying to get to the gig at the Eblana Cabana. Hosted by
Own.
Oh, yeah.
Sam?
Owen.
See, well, there's difference. I don't think it's Owen. I think it's like Eon.
Own.
Eon.
It's Own. He introduced himself.
Well,
Own.
but
someone's like, thanks, Own. Thank you, Own.
He has exactly. He has a very strong accent. So we weren't sure. But anyway, he's the loveliest of people. He plays. Well, apparently he's not always a bass player with the Dublin Ukulele Collective. Mm-hmm. So Ducks.
When he was talking about ducks, I thought he's really gone off a tangent here.
Oh my God, you didn't say that at the time. Okay, yeah, can we call them Ducks now? Because the Dublin Ukulele Collective is quite a mouthful. He plays bass with them, and I'd been in contact with him after the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival, and he said, you should come over to Ukulele Hooley, and he introduced us to the organisers, who also, we met Julia and Niall.
Yes, also lovely. Everyone's so
nice. Out of all of the ukulele festivals I've ever been to, they were by far the nicest organisers.
Wow.
Anyway,
out of curiosity,
say no more. No, say no more. Say no
huge
more.
And huge thank you, especially to Julia, because she organised getting us around and getting us in, and everyone knew who we were. Everyone had our name on the door. It was brilliant.
Yeah, she was lovely, and
we have a little chat with her actually, don't we? Is that tomorrow? Is that next week?
That's next week. So we've got loads of interviews coming up next week. We've got interviews with the Lava Birds, Fred Gusson.
Yeah.
Gusson.
Frederick. Who else did we interview? Julia, and we interviewed a couple of members of Ukulele Tuesday who were absolutely amazing.
They were brilliant. Yeah.
So we've got all that coming up next week. Let's get back to Sam's bad filming.
Oh my goodness, yeah, can we?
So I didn't explain the story. I went off at a tangent. Sam was trying to get into the afternoon gig, and there was a crowd of people waiting to go on the bus.
Oh, they didn't know who he was because he said Sam and not
Well, then they started talking to him as he was trying to walk through, and I could tell he didn't really want to talk. But
they're Irish and ukulele players. They're all very lovely.
Yeah, he was filming, and then he went in, and it was so packed in there. All he filmed was the backs of people's heads, the bar for a second, the wall for quite a long time, and I thought I'm going to include it that we can.
I think I forgot to turn the camera off.
We can critique our professional cameraman.
It wouldn't be an Anarchy road trip without Sam codging up, would it?
Well, I thought we'd just give a little critique to our professional cameraman's filming work.
Yeah,
here we go.
Behind the scenes.
Oh, do we go? Oh, there we go.
We're all going on the bus, so let's walk out here. We've been told to wait here. Well, we've been told to wait under there if it starts raining, you see, but it's good here.
It sounded like
people along the way think they're dominating.
Because the first year we came, it was all in there. You can get a cup of tea and stuff.
Sorry.
So, yeah, I thought we'd play that because I thought that was your best work.
Oh, it was,
and, ladies and gentlemen, that is why we pay him peanuts.
Yeah.
They had heads though, at least.
They did.
Backs of heads, no fronts of heads.
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it will get there eventually. So this is where the gig was in the afternoon. So it's quite small. It wasn't like a big main stage or anything, was
it's
it?
a good job we had the filming of the entryway and everything.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you got the real feel of the place.
Yeah, because Sam's made it look in the film like there's 3 people in the audience.
I know it was packed.
It was packed. You didn't get in there
all afternoon. It was packed and I struggled. In fact,
people kept asking if I wanted to sit down with the baby, and I was like,
yeah, we couldn't get in
I
there.
don't know where you want me to go, but thank you
But
for your kindness.
I liked it because it was it reminded me of a very traditional kind of what I'd expect a little Irish pub.
Yeah.
To be like somewhere people are having a good old sing song. Lots of shandies were partaken.
And Guinness.
Guinness had my first Irish Guinness.
Yeah.
Am I going to say what I said about the Irish Guinness? Guinness.
No.
Guinness.
Well, everybody tells me it tastes different. It didn't taste any different to me. Phil Dolman was like, I've got a pint of it. He's like, what they say is true. So I thought, right, I'll get myself a pint. And I like a Guinness. It tasted the same.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ralph?
What did you two think? Because you had a Guinness.
I didn't have a Guinness.
Neither of them had a Guinness. They staged a photo on our Instagram that made it look like we had 3 Guinnesses. It was my Guinness that they both had.
I
and they
don't
wouldn't
like
drink
any
it.
kind of beer, so I had...
Pathetic.
I had 2 strawberry daiquiris.
Pathetic, both of you. Ralphie had a half.
Yeah, I know. Well.
So
Pepsi Max. And a free one as well.
Sam thought that the waiter was coming on to him.
Yeah, really did.
Because he got a free, additional.
Yeah.
And then Kevin was like, Sam, you know it's free refills.
No, yeah, bottomless Coke he ordered.
To be honest,
he winked as well.
He did not wink at you, Sam. Sam was quite upset that the waiter wasn't coming on to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So we're at the gig. It's kind of like a light-hearted afternoon gig.
It's called the Eblana Club, isn't it? Which is why it's called Eblana Cabana. It's the first year they've done it.
It is. No, it's second year. They did it last year.
Oh, I thought they said it was the first year.
No, they did it last year as well. And it's not a big stage or anything, but it was just a really, really nice, lovely atmosphere. And we stayed there all afternoon, watched all the acts.
Yep.
Sam even videoed some of them.
Yeah.
So this is the gig. I am going to play. Am I going to play it now? Who knows?
My baby's on a mood swing again. Mood swing. I tell you boys, it's something that a man can't understand. It's funny how her state of mind changes with the wind. My baby's on a mood swing again. chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. You're stomping around and you're shaking the ground and you're kicking up an awful dust. We chickens try to sleep and you butt in and hobble, 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 hobble. It's a sin. Tomorrow is a busy day. We got things to do, we got eggs to lay, we got ground to dig and worms to scratch. Well, it takes a lot of setting getting chicks to hatch. There ain't nobody here but us chickens. There ain't nobody here at all. Who came to my jug band workshop earlier on? Yeah! We're going to do a couple of jug band songs. Peg leg Sam had a girl named Sue, broke his peg leg half in two. Only way for to fix the leg was to have his girl take a hold of the peg, but they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody knows what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. There's one thing when you go to eat, bread's no good without the meat. Followed my girl to the store one day, caught her giving her bread away, but they got it fixed, ain't no doubt. Nobody knows what the song's about. Too bad that the news got out, but they got it fixed right on. I'm selling nuts, hot nuts. Does anybody here want to buy my nuts? I'm selling nuts, hot nuts. I got nuts for sale. Well, you see that man, well, he didn't order, but he'll show you his nuts if you give him a quarter. I'm selling nuts, hot nuts. You buy them from the peanut man. Beautifully done.
Everybody look at me, happy girlie, you will see. I've got someone nice, oh gee, oh joy, what news. A one, a two, a three, I found a little baby, a sweet honey boy, my fashion plate baby, it's filled me with joy. This new way of loving has made me say, it's sweet turtle dove is all that I crave. And you make me that's all. Sweet joy, you're proud. She buys clothes and fashion shows for $1.00. Fellas, get your hats. Oh boy, she's a cat. Fast sisters tame the mystery. Sweet Georgia Brown.
We used to buy her to the bed to see the bird. It's just the politics of life itself. That's just the politics of life itself. That's just the politics of life itself. That's just the politics of life itself.
Are you here for the weekend?
Oh yes, yes. I'm here for the weekend, but hopefully the rain will hold off for tomorrow. We can play in the stage.
Yeah.
Vi garde morgenvaljen rosti is very for lunch in a klubben. The vulture rope, the arcs, the toy nouns, the vision you the year.
Beautiful songs of the Milky Way, we're ready, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight, I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'll levitate you. Moonlight, you're my starlight, I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'll levitate. I believe it's you for me to feel it in our energy. It's between the stars. We can go whenever, so let's do it now. Whenever, baby, nothing's ever too far. Clear in the sky, glitter in the lights, shining just the way we are. I feel like we're forever every time we get together, so whatever, let's get lost on Mars. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating, we'll make a way. We're renegading, yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. Be that swing.
Can I just clarify?
I'm saying, listen to him, listen to me.
Don't notice that.
I can hear down my right here, and I'm not hearing you downstairs, so I'm a bit difficult in the conversation.
Good one. All the words are gonna bleed from me, and I will sing no more. And the stains coming from my blood tell me go back home.
We're only here for a day, lads. Everyone say hi to the ukulele. Oh, Anarchy and the ukulele, sorry. I'm Baby Ralph. Hi, Baby Ralph. Okay, last act of the evening. This is going to be a 40-minute rendition of Abbey Road by the Beatles. Interesting fact, we have played this album more times live than the Beatles. So, you know, we're already winning.
Something in the way she moves. faithful to the love you made.
That was cool, wasn't it?
It was cool.
That was cool.
Like by the end, I think I was singing at the top of my voice. It had such a good atmosphere.
I absolutely loved Polythene Jam.
Yeah.
Because I love the Beatles. I particularly love the Abbey Road album, which these two, Abby had never listened to.
I mean, I know some of the songs.
Sam said, "Oh yeah, I've listened to it once." So we played it. We played it on the way back, didn't we? It was.
Abby fell asleep.
You were asleep. Yeah, you were asleep. And I loved them. I thought that was a brilliant idea. They carried it out really well. Phil was great. Chill Creek were on there, who is Saz from the Ukulele Project, the Scotland Ukulele Project, in a duo. They were really good.
Us.
Yeah. Should we talk? So, Owen. said to us when we were kind of like got there and hanging out a little bit, said, "Will you play something?" To which I don't.
You jump up there and play a wee song.
Can you stop with your Irish accent? You're offensive.
I think it's quite good.
It is quite good, yeah. And said, "Will you play something?" And we said, "Yeah, of course we will." Like, trying to be
don't
cool.
have any ukuleles. Oh, don't have a
we'll give you ukuleles. It's fine.
Sat in a room of people with ukuleles.
Yeah. So we wrote, as you've just seen, we wrote Phil in to come and play with us. Who Phil will jump up, play with anybody.
We just gave him a pint of Guinness and a packet of pork scratchings.
Do you know what? We didn't even do that. we really should have done that. Sorry, Phil. We owe you a pint of Irish Guinness.
I don't even know if I saw Phil out. I think I did say thank you after.
Yeah, and so we weren't our best, but it was all right, wasn't it?
It was fun. Right. Everyone was very nice.
What I like on the footage is, again, professional cameraman Bongo Boy. Yeah. As you have noticed from that footage, you can't see him anywhere because he's placed the camera directly.
There was nowhere else to put the camera.
Sat with Abby in between him and the camera.
Yeah, there was nowhere else to put the camera.
You could have moved the car.
I could have moved the car.
Yeah,
but
again, professional cameraman,
Bongo
Boy. But anyway, so we can say that we played the Ukulele Hooley this year.
Yeah,
which was quite nice.
And Ralph, youngest ever person to play.
Youngest ever person. I'll be honest, it didn't really matter what we played because they all just loved Ralphie on the
next day. They were like, "Is this Ralph? Is this Ralph? Is this Ralph from the?"
Yeah, everybody, like, we were mobbed as we finished playing. We were mobbed by people wanting to see the baby.
Yeah.
And go, "How old is he?" So yeah, he was a bit of the star of our show, wasn't he? All the acts were good. Particularly, I liked Almost Pi. Is that what they were called? I think they were kind of, some of them were from the Ukulele Tuesdays. I noticed the next day.
Yeah.
And they kind of did a mixture of their own songs.
The ones that were in the silver jackets, they were brilliant.
Yeah, they were really good as well, weren't they? Really, really enjoyed those. So it was a really nice little afternoon, wasn't it? I enjoyed that. So if you go to the Hooley next year, try and get down to the
Eblana Cabana.
They're doing the Eblana Cabana next year.
At the Cabana. Eblana Cabana. That settles it.
Lovely. So that was day 2 for us, but day one of the Hooley.
Yes. Well, hadn't they done something the night before at the Hooley? Hadn't they?
They'd had a bit of a jam the night before on the Friday, but we clearly weren't there. So
we were just knackered.
So
bless you.
Good timing, mate. So
bless you.
Oh dear. So coming up to not tomorrow, next week.
On next week's show.
We've got interviews with all the people we said before, which was Julia. Did we do an interview with? Did we do an interview with Owen?
We said we were going to, and then I'm not sure that we actually did in the end.
Don't think so.
Should we get Owen on? Get him on the phone.
Yeah, maybe. I'll see if he wants to do
a Zoom.
Yeah, FaceTime with us for next week. And yeah, so we did interviews with lots of people that were playing. They had a disaster.
Oh my goodness!
On day 2 for them, in that the stage didn't turn up in the morning. So which is a real shame. And you'll see on the filming, they built a stage out of nothing, out of just bits that they could get hold of at very short notice. With like an hour's notice. They built a stage and got it covered with, well, more than a marquee. It looked like a proper stage, but it was like 6 times smaller than their big stage, which is a real shame. So when you watch it next week, do kind of realise that it's normally a bigger looking event than it was. So that was a bit of a shame for them, but they made it work. And that's what I got from this trip, was that they were just going to have fun. Whatever happened, it didn't matter if it rained.
They were so chilled about it.
They were just going to enjoy themselves and have fun. And we haven't spoken much about what we ate.
Oh, goodness.
Which is quite remarkable, isn't it?
I had a burrito that day from...
that's day 2. That's day 2.
Right, sorry.
Don't give away next week. We had some amazing food on day 2. Just wait for next week's show and we'll tell you all about that. Okay. But you had your poke.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot about
Kevin, I can't say the word I want to say. He moaned and he moaned and he moaned and he said, "What's this pokey?" And I said, "It's poke." And he moaned and he moaned. Well, we got him one to take home because he wasn't hungry, wasn't keen. No. Sam and I had our delicious poke.
I tried to order the teriyaki chicken. No, we haven't got any teriyaki chicken. The only other thing that wasn't raw fish, and I'm not a fan of sushi, before anyone complains and calls me a philosopher, I just don't like it. It's raw fish. I don't like it.
I mean, it's not sushi, it's poke.
But it was raw fish.
It's actually sashimi, technically.
It was raw fish. So I went, I'll have the tofu one, which anyone who knows me is not like me at all. And, you know...
I was really proud of you, actually.
People have been fired from here for less.
Yeah.
Than eating tofu.
One, old veggie over there.
And,
didn't have the tofu, did they?
Didn't have any tofu. So I had plain...
Just veg.
I don't know if it's the fact that I didn't eat it till about 11 o'clock at night. It's one of the nicest things I've ever eaten in my life. I could just hear moans coming from your room. This is delicious. This is the... this is the nicest thing I've ever eaten. I've never eaten anything so good. I don't know where Sam was at the time. The thing is, I can't even deny it. It was absolutely delicious. It was really nice. Is it? I mean, I'm sweating because I'm wearing a woolly hat on one of the hottest days of the year. But I look like I've been down the coal mine or something. My face is really dark.
I just think I'm shining.
I'm the definition of a fisherman's friend at the minute.
Yeah. Red and spicy.
Anyway, so we will see you next week. I hope you enjoyed that little look of our first couple of days. I think it gets better. I think next week's on the main trip into the park and everything that's going on there. There's lots of stalls. They're selling ukuleles, and we bought some Ukulele Hooley merchandise, which we'll get out in next week's show. Yeah. And it was really, really good. We had such a good time. And that's it. I haven't got anything else to say. I'm spoken out.
Oh, well done.
Top of the day to you. Top of the Friday to you. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
I haven't gone through what Hooley. So what are you going, Hooley? What's it mean?
I think a Hooley is like a collection of people getting together and having a Hooley lot of fun.
You're not far off. Sam, what's a Hooley?
I just think of a hula hoop.
Right, it's not a hula hoop. So it's a party. But when I googled it now, which one did I Google? Oh, not that one.
The camera got too hot. That's how hot it is.
That's how the camera just melted on us in the last seconds. Hopefully we got the end of the video there. If we didn't, like, subscribe, all that jazz.
I did an Irish accent. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
So the Hooley. Now I'm not sure how accurate this is, but it is the top answer on Google, and there's different definitions depending on which country you're in, because it can be a Scottish Hooley.
It's a weather condition.
But it can be a weather condition. But it says if you live in Ireland, it's a raucous. I'm a raucous and badly behaved party.
Ooh, yeah, it was definitely that.
Well, it wasn't. It was very well behaved. Right, how do I get back onto our big screen? Hold on, there we go. It was very well behaved. But what a brilliant description.
Yeah.
And that's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
A raucous and badly behaved party.
What did you think, Ralph?
Which I thought was very fitting. Anyway, so if you got that right, you win absolutely nothing. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Say bye, Ralph.
Bye, Ralph.
Bye, Ralph.